What's up?
Yep.
Everybody got their Michael Dell shirts on today? Delivery of I don't know what that means. Oh, her supercomputer. Michael Dell is a gangster. I love that man. Hey, what does OP mean?
Where did you see that? In what
Like,
context?
like this is OP. Is
Like overpowered?
that what it means? I hear it all the time from people. Original poster.
I'd
what
say
do you do?
overpowered.
Overpowered? Yeah, someone replied to my the laptop thing, so this is OP.
Yeah, overpowered.
So like doing too much.
Or like not fair. Like you have an advantage kind of
Gotcha.
way.
Okay.
Overpriced.
Dude, I don't know, Brock. I don't really share the same sentiment.
Yeah, it's probably just me.
Like I'm seeing a lot of wedge pops and crossbacks. I mean, this hood could be actionable today. You got a wedge pop on Wednesday, and then held into gap support yesterday, remounting the 20 May. I think this is like actionable over yesterday's high. Um on Hood. I think NBIS is playable on day two. This Twilio is getting really close. We got a nice um little 4 days of consolidation. Those are probably some of the top ones that I'm looking at. CRDO, I mean, those earnings were fucking fantastic. Um, it was up 16%, do all-time highs over 200. Man, I'm really bummed. I really wish I had this. Um, I think that's has a good chance of falling through today. Um, Same with MDB and Snowflake. I would love for Snowflake to after this gap up to kind of hold this like 260 area, get a little tight here, and and then go. Like I think this needs to be on watch. Um, I think MDB and CRDO both have a pretty. I think they deserve it to be on watch today. What else we got? A Lab up 6.5% in the pre-market. Damn. Um, this TER fucking painful. Wish I was loading this. Um, hmm. Curious as to like what something like this BE does. Obviously, pretty ugly day yesterday, but the chance of this coming down and putting in a higher low is, I think, pretty high. Like almost like what NBIS did yesterday. So the NBIS was cleaner because it didn't reject, but like I think this puts in a higher low, remounts at some point. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to work here, guys. Good morning. QQQ, we got gapping up just under $3, 0.45%. We're under 620. Yesterday we had that, gap down to start the week of about 1%. Um, Gap downs make things, a lot easier to get involved in. Because if buyers step in, you have a clear area to risk against, and then it's a rest day, if you will, often. And you can get a lot of go signals. You can get a lot of stocks that start to differentiate themselves on a gap down, kind of like what we saw in like NBIS yesterday. Really, really wish I would have gotten involved heavily in this. Manrev did a phenomenal job, obviously on A Lab buying this right away at market open. It's up about $20. Since then, coming up into the 50-day moving average, this is very likely going to go on some sort of run. Right, stocks move in 3 to 5 day bursts. You're on day 4.5 right now into the 50 SMA. Maybe it goes over it for a few more days. Maybe it stalls here and then builds out some sort of higher low uh, and builds out some sort of higher low, right? Because technically this has been lower high, lower high, lower high. So it does need to get that higher low with the 9 and 20 May curling back. Looked like it was going to have it back here at the beginning of November. Obviously fell down through that with the market weakness, but um, you're starting to see stocks differentiate themselves, especially with CRDOs. Big gap up. Um, yeah, the I think the market will continue to recognize, hey, these stocks that have made a big move over the past 9 months and have pulled back in, relatively significantly. Um, which ones deserve to be pulled back and which ones didn't. Um, and this was a really nice wedge pop on NBIS. You've got this kind of consolidation. You get the gap down and buyers stepping in to remount the 20 May. I think this is either this is either going to be an inside day here, rest, that kind of maintains the 9 and 20 period moving averages, around $100 or $97, give or take. Or you get day two red to green up towards a 50 SMA around 110. And again, similar situation like on A Lab, you get, this 5 to 7 day push up into some of these spots, and then you see how it's going to consolidate and build out a higher low, if it's going to. And then, of course, you have some that have some sort of event or catalyst or whatever, like CRDO, that just go, right from the undercut of support, straight up. This is up now 65% from last Friday or the Friday prior, which is just insane. What other news? Oh yeah, I saw some comments about Boeing. It's up 6%. I wasn't able to read them because I was typing stuff up. Um,
They're at a conference talking.
gotcha. Babo said there's a shit ton of conferences today. Um, Couple upgrades. Unity had an upgrade from Wedbush, Dan Ives and stuff. Typed it all up on here. Irene had a big offering. Samsung had some comments or whatever about memory stuff that really impressive from them. We'll see if MU, SNDK, WDC, STX, how they respond. The Trumpsters got a big announcement at 2 p.m. today. So we'll see what that's regarding. if it's immigration, Venezuela, the Fed, um, whatever. If it's the Fed, obviously that's going to be the most market related. Otherwise, not none of that else really matters as much. TER had a really nice upgrade this morning as well. It's like a $225 price target or something. Um, Wish I already got involved in this the same day I got involved in CIEN and COHR. Um, so that's a little unfortunate. Needed to consolidate. SEI also had a nice upgrade this morning, $68 price target. I still think this looks very nice on the daily and weekly time frame. Um, and still love that story. I don't know if anybody's still involved in that. Um, in terms of in terms of what's going on in the scans, there's a lot of like 3.99 star setups in my opinion. Um, And I think it's going to be important to be active in the first couple hours of each day to kind of really be in tune with what the market cares about and what the market does not care about. I don't think try to be a hero, for example, ONDS, right? I tried buying this yesterday, inside day pullback into all the moving averages, went red to green. Setup that is my favorite setup, and the market didn't care about it. Ended up coming back down, taking out low a day, taking out my stop. We'll see if the market cares about this today, right? We're putting a higher low and kind of push out of this. Still something that I'm interested in and tracking. But it's going to be important to again pay attention because at the same time that was occurring, right, you had stuff like MBIS just ripping red to green, giving back nothing. Stuff like A Lab ripping red to green, giving back nothing. Things like TER, pushing really hard. Etc. And for example, just looking at the difference between the daily candles put in on BE and NBIS, right? That's information that the market's giving you. This gap down and made a massive push. BE gap down, tried to push, and found some sellers. Closed at low day. Um, so again, just refine your focus because I think there is things that are worthy. ASML, another one, red to green, right up near highs. You get some consolidation on this, a little tightness below 1100, which is this peak from 2024, mid 2024. You've essentially got right a weekly cup and handle breakout here. On this. AMAT continues to rock. That was a sick trade by Jerisachi. Again, up like 7 days in a row. Gonna need some consolidation. Couple things that I love. I love that the strength on SMH over the past 6 days, 7 days really. And then yesterday was kind of the first day, actually was the first day, in a little bit that it really felt like the NASDAQ was leading. There was a moment intraday yesterday where things were pulling back. S&P took out the lows or came into the lows yesterday afternoon, and meanwhile SMH was just consolidating tight near high a day. QQQ was putting in a notable higher low against the VWAP, and I thought that was extremely notable, which I love to see. Um, The other thing is, it doesn't take a lot to um get really, in tune with the market, right? It takes, essentially that one good trade philosophy that really gets you back in tune with what's going on, and kind of, I think aware of the opportunities. For example, even something just like this hood, the chances of this being a little bit of a tight little crossback, I think are there, right? This is, one of the leading stocks of the past 2 years, especially over the last 7 months, pulled into this gap support. Really notable pop off $100, about 25% pop, pulled back in, hammer candle at this bullish open gap from the day it was up 11% last week, Wednesday. And here we are trying to take out previous day's high in the pre-market. Like this is something that you could get involved in with a 9 EMA stop, 20 EMA stop, even low of day stop, wherever that is, and see if you can get positioned for a push up, a remount to the 50 SMA, something like this, back up into 150s and highs. Like that's very possible. And all of a sudden you'll be looking at, this look getting tight here below 150. And then, it's Q4 earnings are coming out. Maybe it gaps up to 200. Um, and I think there are a number of things like that, which we'll go into in a second. And I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, yesterday, was a little bit more focused on, those few names that I suggested. And today I'm got more like, 20 to 25 things that I'm like, I could see this. Okay, yeah, I could see this. And what I want to take the first few minutes to really get organized. Sorry I took so long, Brocco. My bad.
No, please, you got much more to say than I do right now. Um, no, I don't know. I think you've been crushing it this week as far as just kind of your tone and where you've been focused. Um, Been a little tougher for me. I mean, not really getting any exposure positions and kind of being away last week. It was kind of tough coming into this week. I ran a bunch of scans this morning. It seems a lot of the stuff that was strong off the lows is kind of just continuing to be strong. There's a few things that triggered yesterday, like, an MBIS and an A-Lab that were great. I guess, I'm much more comfortable and much more excited if these get above the 50-day and set up again. A lot of these prior leaders are still below the 50-day with the Qs up, 6, 7 days in a row. So, we'll see. We got the Qs, QQQ and SMH looking like they're, well, SMH already did, but Qs are going to come into this, close this bearish gap from that wedge drop on 11, 11, 13. So it's like 620, 621 area is going to be interesting. It was a nice hold yesterday. I mean, markets pulled back a little bit. We gapped down, held, and now we're gapping up over yesterday's high. So be interesting to see how we act today. Man, for my kind of style of trading, I'd really like to see some like true momentum, like come back into the market, like get some speculative stuff running. Get like when you start to see like the pre-market small caps going, which we haven't seen for a while, like that's when momentum's really coming back. And if we can see that, I get super excited. It's, getting tough for me, SMH up 7 days in a row. It's really tough here to want to like put on stuff. That's just kind of where I'm at. It doesn't mean stuff's not working. I mean, there was a few things working yesterday. You've had a few names that have been working, and I'm sure a bunch of other people in the chat have been involved. But I don't know. It's kind of just like a sit and wait game for me right now. I mean, maybe I'm locked out, and it is what it is. But I just can't. I don't see enough charts and things that get me excited to want to just start getting involved right now personally. So I'm just trying to sit tight and see if anything's come up. I do think MSTR was kind of an opportunity in my ballpark yesterday that I maybe fumbled on a little bit, but that volume yesterday was really interesting. I was hoping for a gap down today to maybe try like a red to green on this, but it's gapping up like 4% this morning. And Bitcoin's gapping up. You could have like a higher low here on IBIT. I mean, this thing's gapping up 4% after another pretty high volume day. Back into that close from that Friday, 11/21, where we saw, the record volume. So, interesting dynamic there. If this can start to rally up, that could be kind of a start to some, momentum coming back a little bit. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe something comes up today, but as of right now, the focus list is pretty small. Um, and kind of just watching you navigate right now and kind of listening to you, to be honest. So, yeah, we'll see.
I love Michael Dell.
There you go.
Market opens in 5 minutes here. I do actually think Dell looks good and might be an opportunity. Is another one. Um, okay, it doesn't actually look that good.
No,
Uh,
I was trying to see it, and then you guys were talking about in the chat, but I was like, oh man, this thing looks like a headache.
why not?
I
Why
could be
is it?
wrong. I mean, I've never. Oh, you just said it doesn't look that good. What do you
Well,
think?
just get rid of everything else and just look right here.
Okay, that's fair.
Bought held the 200-day moving average. Nice little wedge pop, and you got a tight little EMA crossback. We all know Michael Dell's just a monster of a human being, and there's going to be books written about him. And we've got a nice little hammer candle closing at high day yesterday and the EMA crossback. Um, yeah, I think I'm really trying to and I really think it's just a benefit in general for people um to simplify their trading. Again, like this isn't necessarily the example that I want to use. Um, but like this is how you get get in tune with the market and get touches, right? Get reps. I mean, again, hammer candle, higher low at the 90 MA. You got the president tweeting about Dell this morning. EMA crossback situation seems worthy enough for me. Um, like that simple of an approach. Um, yeah, anyways, market opens in 3 minutes. I want to run through some things. If anybody's got any questions, if anybody's got any stocks on their list, really would like some folks in the pre-market to um try to post their watch list if they're looking at anything. I do like this Twilio still quite a bit. Going to add some more to this. This weekly looks fantastic. I don't know. That's relative weakness. I think it's just consolidating after earnings gap up. I bet the relative strength line on it is actually probably in the mid 90s right now. Yeah, relative strength line's pretty high on it. Lumen, yeah, I saw some people talking about that in the base. Yeah, higher low, gap down, red to green, popping through. The COHR is where'd it go on my screens? Um, is up just below 168 in the pre-market. All-time highs 168.50. Might look to take some off up here from 141, 147. I'll call it just a little under that. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5, 4 days of push. Sell a third to a half into day 3 to 5, and then look to trail the moving averages. So I'm gonna look to do that. CRS, we'll see what this happens. Got a feeling I'm wasting my time, but we'll see. Google, we got 5 days of consolidation here into the 90 May. Like to see this hold this gap here at about 310, 309.50. And the 90 May maybe get some sort of signal there. But I still think this one's worthy of a watch. Yeah, SYM's gapping down on a downgrade, I believe. We'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna take the first. Ding, 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 ding. GOGL. Took off a tiny bit of that COHR 169.40. 15% gain. You want time highs? Twilio, nice action. Twilio, really nice actually. The advanced climb positive 670. CEN taking out last week's high. We're gonna learn on DOCN. Keep an eye on this, guys. This looks great. NVIDIA super strong, Oracle strong. CRDO dip immediately got bought up. 202. Unity trying to take out yesterday's high. And BIS trying to take out yesterday's high. Sick action on NVIDIA. Very clean little opening range break over 196 on CRDO. DOCN took out this base right now. Use high day, Bitcoin high day, SMH high day, VIX 1675. Yeah, ONDS is looking solid. Nice strength on Twilio. Hey, good work, Dark, on that TER, man.